What if the very thing you've been running from was the secret to living with more gratitude than you've ever imagined? Stay with me because this idea may sound counterintuitive at first, even uncomfortable, but by the end of this, you might see life in a completely new way. It's called the art of negative visualization, an ancient Stoic practice that teaches us how to embrace life by imagining its absence. Think about it. Most of us spend our days chasing after more success, more recognition, more comfort. Yet no matter how much we accumulate, that gnawing sense of dissatisfaction lingers. We adapt too quickly, a phenomenon psychologists call the hedonic treadmill. What once thrilled us soon becomes ordinary. The new car, the new house, the new relationship. They all fade into the background, leaving us restless and hungry for the next fix. But what if the problem isn't that we don't have enough, but that we've forgotten how fragile, how fleeting, how impermanent everything really is? This is where negative visualization comes in. The Stoics, Marcus Aurelius Epictetus, practiced it daily. Instead of denying life's hardships, they leaned into them. They asked themselves, what if I lost my wealth? What if I lost my health? What if I woke tomorrow and the people I loved were no longer here? These weren't morbid fantasies. They were reminders of reality. And by rehearsing loss in the theater of the mind, they awakened to the miracle of what they still had. Here's the paradox. Imagining the loss of what you cherish makes you cherish it more. Picture holding your morning cup of coffee. Instead of sipping absent-mindedly, imagine for just a moment, what if this was the last cup you'd ever enjoy? Instantly, the aroma becomes richer, the warmth more comforting, the taste more alive. The mundane transforms into the miraculous. But let's pause. Isn't thinking about loss depressing? Isn't life already stressful enough? Here's the twist. Negative visualization doesn't trap you in sadness. It frees you from entitlement. Instead of assuming the universe owes you permanence, you realize that every breath, every laugh, every sunrise is a bonus. You stop demanding and you start appreciating. And that shift, subtle yet profound, is the key to gratitude in adversity. Now let me ask you something. How many times have you taken someone for granted only to feel their true value when they were gone? Think of a breakup, a friend who moved away, or even the passing of someone close. That flood of regret, the wish that you had said more, hugged longer, listened deeper, is the raw essence of negative visualization. But the Stoics discovered a way to access that appreciation before loss. While there's still time to act, imagine the power of living each day as if nothing were guaranteed, because the truth is, nothing ever is. This mindset doesn't only change how you view your blessings, it changes how you handle pain. Life will hurt you. Adversity is non-negotiable. But when you've already rehearsed the worst hardship, doesn't blindside you in the same way. You expect storms. So when they come, you're not paralyzed. You're prepared. You've already told yourself, I can survive this, I can endure. And through endurance, I can even find meaning. Think about Viktor Frankl, the Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist who wrote Man's Search for Meaning. He observed that those who survived unthinkable suffering often weren't the physically strongest, but those who found purpose in their pain. Negative visualization aligns with this truth. It conditions the mind not to break under adversity, but to bend with it to discover hidden strength within weakness. But there's another layer to this. In our culture, we're told to always think positively, to manifest only good things. And while optimism has its place, it can also create fragility. If you expect life to be smooth, every bump feels like a betrayal. Negative visualization does the opposite. It toughens your mental skin. You hope for the best, but you prepare for the worst. You don't collapse when life surprises you with suffering because you've already walked through that suffering in your imagination. Let's make this practical. Tonight before bed, try this exercise. Close your eyes and picture waking up tomorrow to find that your job is gone. What emotions arise? Panic, fear, maybe relief. Sit with those feelings. Then remind yourself tonight you still have that job. The very thing you just mourned is still yours. Do this with your loved ones. Imagine life without them. You'll feel a sharp ache. Yes, but then an even deeper gratitude when you realize they're still here, still within reach, still waiting for your presence and affection. That is the miracle of negative visualization. It turns ordinary moments into sacred ones. But let's go even deeper. What happens when you apply this to your identity? What if tomorrow your talents, your abilities, even your health were taken away? Who would you be without your achievements, your status, your looks? Scary, right? Yet that's the ultimate Stoic question. Are you more than your possessions, more than your reputation, more than your body? Negative visualization reminds us that all external things can vanish, and what remains? Your character, your choices, your soul. That's where true gratitude lives, not in what you own, but in who you are becoming. There's also something profoundly humbling about this practice. When you see how easily everything could slip away, arrogance fades, gratitude takes its place. Suddenly the little annoyances of life, the traffic jam, the slow internet, the long line at the store lose their sting. You start asking, in the grand scheme of things, does this really matter? Negative visualization shrinks the petty frustrations and magnifies the treasures hiding in plain sight. Think of the last time you held someone's hand. Did you pause to appreciate the warmth, the trust, the silent connection? Or were you scrolling through your phone, lost in distraction? One day that hand will no longer be there. Negative visualization whispers, don't wait for that day to arrive before you wake up. Love fully now. Appreciate deeply now. Live gratefully now. But here's the catch. This practice isn't about obsessing over loss. It's about creating intensity in the present. A life without awareness of loss is shallow. A life obsessed with loss is paralyzing. The art is in the balance, remembering impermanence just enough to ignite gratitude, not enough to extinguish joy. The Stoics didn't dwell in despair. They lived vibrantly precisely because they never forgot how fragile it all was. Now let's circle back to adversity. When hardship strikes, and it will, it's tempting to ask, why me? Negative visualization reframes the question, why not me? Who promised that life would spare you? Who guaranteed that pain would skip over your existence? No one. And once you accept that truth, you stop seeing adversity as an injustice and start seeing it as part of the human contract. You can't choose whether storms come, but you can choose whether they destroy you or teach you. Here's the beauty: adversity often reveals hidden gratitude. People who've faced illness, loss, or near-death experiences often say they've never felt more alive, more appreciative of the small things, a warm meal, a gentle breeze, a kind word. Negative visualization allows you to touch that gratitude without having to endure catastrophe. It lets you taste the sweetness of life by imagining its absence. So when adversity does come, you're not broken. You're already fluent in finding light within the dark. So the next time you find yourself frustrated with life, pause. Ask yourself, what if this moment disappeared forever? That conversation, that laughter, that silence. What if you could never return to it? Suddenly even the imperfect becomes precious. And that's the point. Gratitude doesn't come from perfection. It comes from presence. And presence is born when we stop assuming that tomorrow is guaranteed. The art of negative visualization isn't about being pessimistic. It's about being awake. Awake to the truth that everything is fleeting, that nothing is owed to us, that every second is a gift. And once you realize that gratitude stops being something you force, it becomes something you feel in your bones. So I'll leave you with this tonight. When you close your eyes, imagine losing it all. Your comforts, your routines, your people. Let that ache wash over you. Then open your eyes. Look around and realize you still have them for now. And that for now is enough to live a life of gratitude, even in the face of adversity. If this resonated with you, don't just keep it to yourself. Hit the like button, so more people can discover these life-changing ideas. Subscribe if you're ready to dive deeper into the wisdom of Stoicism and psychology. And share this with someone who's been struggling to find gratitude. It might just change their perspective forever.